What's good, everybody? Your boy Ghetto Greg from Punchingbagskunk Boxing, where we don't gas fighters up, we break fighters down. And today, we're going to talk about some real breaking boxing news that should have every hardcore fan heated. Shakur Stevenson getting stripped by the WBC. Terrible. Because this isn't just about Shakur. This is about what boxing has turned into. Fees, politics, threats, and fake prestige. Let's get into that right after this.
Everything that God put me through, I was built for it. Everything I got, it worked hard for the bill, you know it. Demon 750 rolling hard, I'ma keep short. Streets to the red carpet ride, yo, you bitch know it. The skunk destroys the punk to stop it. The truth is sunk the boat of nonsense. They lean and ox and fiend a little bit. The skunk be shining bright a little bit. Boy, Ghetto Greg, Punchingbagskunk.
Shakur Stevenson stripped by the WBC. And I'm going to say it straight. This right here is why boxing's relationship with the hardcore boxing fans is in the dumpster. Because when an elite fighter is getting stripped over money, fees, politics, whatever the details are, what the sport is really telling you is the belt doesn't belong to the best fighter. The belt belongs to whoever plays ball with the system. And that's exactly why belts don't hit the same anymore. There was a time when belts meant honor. There was a time where a world title meant something, you carried with pride. And think about champions like Marvelous Marvin Hagler. That wasn't an add-on to him. The belt wasn't an add-on. It wasn't an optional. That belt meant, I'm the man. You got to come take this from me if you want it. But today, in modern boxing, belts feel like a business contract. Like you got a champion subscription. Pay the fees, pay the sanctioning, pay for the approval. And if you don't, they threaten you with stripping. And fans aren't stupid. We can see it. Because the WBC, the WBA, IBF, WBO, pick your poison. These organizations have been playing games for years. Rankings that make no sense. Mandatory situations that change depending on who got the money. Special belts popping up out of nowhere like Halloween candy. Rules that apply to one fighter but not the next. And the worst part, they hold the belt hostage like it's their belt. Not the fighters, their belt. So when Shakur gets stripped, I'm not even shocked anymore. I'm just tired. Because Shakur is one of the best fighters in the sport. And instead of boxing building around skill and legacy, we're building around fees, politics, and leverage, and threats. That's why old school fans say boxing is watered down, not because the fighters don't have talent, but because the sport doesn't respect its own champions. And let's talk about the part that people dance around. These organizations demand that their whole operation be treated like royalty. Staff being flown out on first-class flights, 5-star hotels paid for, limos, gambling chips as perks. Meanwhile, the fighter is the one risking brain cells and career years and still getting squeezed. So tell me, how do you call it a championship when the champion is being pressured like an employee? That's why belts don't feel like honor anymore. Belts feel like politics. And that leads to a bigger point. A lot of the fighters today don't even care about belts like that anymore. And honestly, it's not all their fault. Because the organizations drained the meaning out of it. So Shakur being stripped isn't just a headline. It's a symptom. This next part is where it got real human real fast. Teofimo alone in the dressing room. So Shakur said that Teofimo's fight, after the fight, he saw Teofimo getting checked by the doctor and Teofimo was by himself. No father, no fans, no friends, just Teofimo sitting there evaluated alone. And Shakur said he felt sad for him. And listen, boxing is already a lonely sport, I know. I've been in it for over 50 years. It's a lonely sport. You train alone, you suffer alone, you fight alone. But when it's over, you know, your team is supposed to be there, your people, man. So if you're alone in that moment, that says a lot. And then you get the other part of this story. Teofimo's father coming out after the fight blaming Teofimo. Basically saying he didn't do what I told him to do. It's not even funny, it's pathetic. You know, and I'm like, come on, man. As a father, as a trainer, as a head of the corner, publicly embarrassing your son after he just went through a war. That's a nasty word, son. Behind closed doors, yeah, correct him, coach him, argue with him, whatever. But in public, you're supposed to protect him. Because the public criticism hits different when it's your own father. And that's why you got former champions speaking on it. You know, guys like Andre Ward and Roy Jones, they've been publicly critical of Lopez Sr. And I don't blame them. Because they recognize something a lot of fans don't catch. Only pros like us catch this stuff. When your corner dynamic is toxic, it bleeds into the fighter's confidence. It bleeds into decision making. It bleeds into the whole event, even the career. And when Shakur sees Teofimo alone, that's not internet drama. That's real. It makes you ask, does Teofimo actually have support, or does he just have a business arrangement with his father? Because it's starting to look like that. When Teofimo wins, I did that.
Motherfucker put his hands on me, bro. You motherfucker. Fuck you and your coach. You got an MMA coach. You got an MMA coach. Fuck this motherfucker. Give me a fucking oh, God. First round knockout, bitch. First round. What are you gonna do when my son walks you down?
When Teofimo loses, he didn't listen to me. That's a setup. That ain't support. That's control. That ain't love. And I'm not saying Teofimo is perfect. He's not. But no fighter should be isolated like that after a fight. That moment Shakur described, that's the type of moment that tells you boxing ain't just gloves and lights. It's people. Now, Deontay Wilder is out there calling Tyson Fury the biggest cheater of all time. And I'm going to be honest with you. Wilder is old news at this point. I know that sounds harsh, but he's old news at this point. He's an afterthought today. But since he said it, let's address it. Let's address it real quick. That whole thing sounds like, to me, it sounds like sour grapes from a man who got beat 3 times. Not once, not a fluke, beaten decisively 3 times. Fury didn't just beat Wilder. Fury embarrassed him, mentally and physically. And in the press conferences, Fury had Wilder looking emotional, frustrated, actually saying goofy stuff. So when Wilder yells, cheater! But anyway, if you got proof, man, Wilder, bring it. Just bring it. If you got proof, bring it. If you don't, then just shut the hell up. It's just noise at this point. It's just noise to protect your ego at this point. Because no one's really listening. Right? You're a footnote, Wilder. Again, I know it sounds harsh, but if you guys say I sound harsh, go to my video archives. I was the one defending this guy. I got tons of videos where I was right there in the trenches with him when that racism stuff came up, and I go look at my videos. I was the one defending him. So don't even try to act like I'm some kind of coon getting on Wilder, because you guys love to bring that race junk into it anyway. I'm speaking what it is. All right, what it is. Wilder's old news. Nobody cares really. All right. If you really want to get listen. To me, that Wilder versus Chisora talk, that fight, to me, it's just a money grab by 2 washed-up fighters. And I know that sounds harsh. I know, but it's a microcosm of what's wrong with boxing as a whole. Who is that for? Who's that fight for? It's not for legacy. It's not for title stakes. It's not for the best fighting the best. It's just 2 names with mileage cashing out. Okay? That's all it is. And that's the cycle. Boxing keeps pushing these recycled matchups And then they wonder, then people wonder why the sport can't keep any momentum. And I'll say this too. Wilder, you went downhill when you fired Mark Breland. Point blank, end of the story. When you fired Mark Breland, that was the biggest career mistake you ever made. Because Breland was the only person who looked like he was thinking about your health instead of your ego. And since then, it's been excuses and constant erosion for you, Wilder. So yeah, Wilder, you can talk. Shakur, Shakur. I didn't even read Chisora. You know what I'm trying to say. Them two can fight, whatever. But compared to what just happened with Shakur in the WBC, that Wilder stuff is just background noise. So let's wrap it up. Shakur getting stripped by the WBC is bigger than Shakur. It's big. That's big news. We should be paying attention to that. That shouldn't be an afterthought. You know what I mean? All these boxing channels on YouTube, I don't know if you guys understand the significance of it. Because you're just a bunch of jackasses anyway. If you ask me, most of boxing YouTube's channels is a bunch of jackasses. If you don't think so, debate me then. If not, shut the hell up. It's just another reminder that belts don't mean nothing. They don't mean honor like they used to. They mean like politics and fees and leverage. I'm just so tired of that side of the sport. And now it's all that side of the sport. There was business back in the day, but it was still boxing. And the Teofimo story, that was the realest thing Shakur said. Because no fighter should be sitting there alone after a fight like that. And Wilder, he can keep yelling cheater, but at this point, it's just giving excuses. If you want me to cook up the next episode, drop what topic you want next, and I'll do my best to do the video on it. It's your boy Ghetto Greg from Punchingbagskunk Boxing, where we don't gas fighters up, we break fights down. We out.